Well, I don't know about you, but I think it's time we finish out the album and move on from the perfect warrior into the last track of Argus. How about yeah? That is going to be the track Throw Down the Sword. So, he became the warrior in the last track, in the previous one, vowing to not be a slave and to, if anything, be a conqueror. And now, I guess we're turning them swords back into plowshares? Let's go ahead and give it a listen. We will talk about it after. And yeah, let's just throw ourselves right into it. Let's go. It's coming. It's a slow start, maybe? It's going to be a fade in. It's coming. Is it supposed to sound like that? It's like going back and forth. There you go. Definitely seems like an after the battle kind of song. Like there's some regrets in there. There's a sense of peace. The battle's over, but there's still some demons we're fighting. Sounds very medieval, too. Nice change.
Throw down the sword, the fight is done and over.
Great job of making these like very catchy choruses and moments in the music that you really want to sing along with.
Throw down the sword and leave the glory. A story time can never change.
Play it with feeling. And the nice organ in the back, I actually just noticed it. I just noticed how lifting that is. I didn't even pay attention to it before. That is nice. And with the solos on top. You got twin soloing. Now that I hear it. That's a nice end. Now you get the organ isolation there. Woo! And the last remnants of the echoes die off in the end. This was a good album, but this was a really nice track to kind of... Ooh, this was a nice payoff. You know, Warrior to me is the perfect track. I love that one. This is a nice send-off to the album. The solos, they're twinning it at the end there. And I didn't even notice it, but the organ is just breathing a deep breath of life into the music as well, pushing it forward and pushing it up. And the singing is nice. Like, everything hits the right marks here. And while it doesn't hit the same highs, I would say, as some of the previous tracks, I do think that this is a perfect conclusion to the album as a whole, wrapping everything up and kind of giving you a nice epilogue to the ending. And I think a nice send-off lyrically, especially after the previous track. Now, there's one thing I don't care for in this track. And it's something that happens occasionally in songs. It's not like a popular thing, but a fade-in to the track. I think that sometimes it can be handled very well, by the way. But I think that sometimes it's a little bit awkward. Like, I'm just like waiting for the music to kick in. I'm like, okay, where is it? Okay, here. Is that it right there? Sometimes it works really well. Here, let's get to it. Now, I understand how from the previous track, how it ended, it kind of fades in with, you know, after the battle. Like, I get that, you know, thematically and listening to it back to back. But still, sometimes I'm just like, you know, a fade out? We can fade out really nicely, but a fade in? Let's get into the action. A little bit quicker. But like I said, I mean, this song as a whole is still very, very well done. And obviously that guitar playing. Throw down the sword, the fight is done and over. Neither lost, neither won. To cast away the fury of the battle and turn my weary eyes for home. Which, if you look at the album cover, you could argue, is he looking forward to going home? Or is he looking down into going into battle? You could kind of argue either way, I suppose. There were times when I stood at death's own door, only hoping for an answer. Throw down the sword and leave the glory. A story time can never change. To walk the road, the load I have to carry, a journey's end, a wounded soul. There were times when I stood at death's own door, only searching for an answer, which I think is a nice line to end the album as well. You know, the battle was neither won nor lost. Both sides had losses, and perhaps the literal battle was won, but there's still a certain loss, perhaps of innocence, in war itself. So I think that's a nice track. I think that's a wonderful send-off and closure to the album. I think I'm having a good time, and I hope that you did too. Listening to this, you can please let me know your thoughts down there in the comments down below. What was your favorite track on the album? And all the other fun stuff. Follow me over on Twitter. Support the channel over on Patreon. Hope you enjoyed going through the album with me. I'm losing the ability to speak. And I will talk to you all later. Bye, guys.